back, everyone. This is Jason, aka J-Bone of the Ramblin' About Wrestling podcast, right here to bring you something different. This video was meant to be another day in the life video, similar to what I did for my Global Force Wrestling experience when I drove up to Appleton and saw them for the first time. I recorded a lot of footage from the Motley Crue concert the other night. Did some stuff on the way there, some talking, but the concert footage I recorded, I just wasn't happy with. We had nosebleed seats. And if you don't know what that is, we were very high up, way in the back. I got the tickets last minute. They were cheap. $25 each. It was a really good deal, and I did not want to pass up that opportunity. So instead of trying to splice all that together, and as I started doing it, I just wasn't happy with it. But I still wanted to do a video talking about my experience in seeing one of my favorite all-time bands for the last time. Just wanted to quick say a few words on it. So yeah, I went down to the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to see Motley Crue with my best friend Jesse, and we were both very excited. I'm glad I did not pass this opportunity up. I would have been kicking myself for the rest of my life, literally. And I've heard stories from fans. I've heard people being critical of the concerts. Vince can't sing anymore. Complaining about this, complaining about that. I heard as we were, going up the escalators to, get to our seats once we were finally in the Bradley Center, the guy behind me was complaining about the drum rig not working in X amount of cities. Well, the drum rig is a very special thing, and obviously, the ceiling, roof, whatever you want to call it, has to be strong enough structurally to hold this. I'm sorry, I lost my voice at the concert 2 nights ago, and I'm still still a little hoarse, so I apologize. And I'm like, well, that's why they booked the Bradley Center concert, because last year when they came to the Marcus Amphitheater down at the Summerfest grounds, that it's an amphitheater setting, it's outdoors, and that roof, as huge as it is, as great as it is, it's not built, and that whole venue, it wouldn't have been big enough, in a sense, for the crucifix, the Tommy Lee's rig. So, and Jesse and I kind of looked at each other like, oh, well, it's got to be here, it's going to be one of the highlights of the entire night. So we went in there, didn't even get to our seat. Once we got to the top level, I ran through one of the, the curtains, just to take a quick look around, and the opening band was on. And sure enough, the rig was there, so I knew we were set. So then I went back out, and we found our seats, and sure enough, yep, way up top. And I'm deathly scared of heights. And once we were sat, it was fine, but getting up there was like, and it's dark, and people are drinking, so but nonetheless, I'm not going to say too much about the first band. They were okay. I had no clue there was going to be an opening band. I think it's pretty cool that they did bring someone out for this last leg of this, final tour. The Cringe, I think they were called, band out of New York. I'm gonna go, research them a little bit. They sounded okay. They had kind of an old school sound. Kind of like a 70s rock sound, in my opinion. Nothing too flashy. I mean, obviously, they're the opening band. They were given about a half an hour, I think. And I think they did a cover. I gotta look back at my footage. I'm sorry, I don't remember. It was it a Sabbath song? No, it was oh, for crying out loud, what was it? I'm sorry, I can't remember. It's that old age setting in. They did one cover, and they did it well. So it was kind of cool. That kind of got the crowd excited, like, oh, hey, a song we know from a band we don't know. So whatever. It was, for what it was worth, it was cool. They sounded okay. And then Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper, I was really looking forward to. One thing I know about Alice Cooper going into this is that he's always had a very tight band, as in they've always performed like a well-oiled machine. He always picks really good musicians to tour with him. And even though, I think I followed him more back when I was in high school, late 80s, early 90s, back when he was doing the whole Trash album, maybe a couple leading up to that. Followed him a little bit more, recognized some of that stuff. I mean, I knew the classics. School's Out, the list goes on and on. I know those from, seeing the videos, hearing them on the radio a ton of times. So I knew pretty much all of the songs that he played, with the exception of a couple of them. But this band, oh my God. I'm sure there are people that are out there that are going to say Alice Cooper blew the Crue away. And I got a little scared after seeing Alice Cooper, and the entire Bradley Center gave him a standing ovation, by the way. Hands down, for the first time ever seeing Cooper, unfriggin' believable. You want to see a classic, I'll call him classic rock, as much as it sucks to call some of these guys classic rock. But he's been around a long time. He's been around longer than Crue. To have a band like Alice Cooper sound that good and have musicians play the classics that well. And, it's funny. You go back and you listen to the classics, say you look them up on YouTube, and then you hear them perform now, and they sound, they have that heavier sound. They have a crisper sound. So, after hearing them how I heard them at the concert, you almost might be a little disappointed in going back and listening to some of the classics, because they do sound classical. They don't sound like they do when they hear the band play them live now. But every song, including a new different one, like "Go to Hell," had to be from the 70s. Just sounded incredible. Just great stuff. So yeah, I don't know how long Alice Cooper is going to be around, but I will definitely be going to see him again if he comes to town. Hopefully, he usually comes somewhere around here about once a year. A lot of times he plays like like the corn dog festivals around here, as in the state fairs, stuff like that. So he probably will not have the production that he has for this tour. I mean, this is $1 billion tour. The lights, the pyro, the flames, the lasers, the everything. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Then there's Crue. Motley Crue. I am man enough to admit I cried a little after every song, just because it's the last time I'm ever going to see them play those songs live in person again. I'm not going to see any other dates on this tour. I was on the phone with a friend last night, and he said he might, he might go out to LA and see one of the last dates at the end of the year in December. He said there was a couple factors that depended on that, but anyways, I was like, oh, how I would love to see that. One of their last, well, I saw them this time, but to see like the last time they ever perform ever. And there's a lot of people that I heard talking around me saying this isn't going to be their last tour. Well, I like to believe that when the Crue says they're going to do something, they're going to do it. Because I look at bands like Kiss, who said, 15 years ago, that they were going to call it quits, or whatever it was, 10, 15 years ago, saying that they were going to call it quits, and yeah, they're still touring. They're full of shit. I got everybody hyped, saying, "Ooh, yeah, it's the last time. Better come see us." No, you got new band members, and kept going. Got to keep that money train going, Kiss, somehow. Yeah, I'm not impressed with them lately. I'm not. I like some of the classic music, but I really don't care if I ever get to see them again. But anyways, it's about the Crue. Okay, Vince Neil's. I will bring up Vince Neil's voice. Yeah, of course, he doesn't sound like he did back when he did the Dr. Feelgood CD. But he does. He does put on a good show, And honestly, whatever he did, whatever these guys do, they take little breaks during the show. Mick has a solo, so everyone else takes a break. Or Tommy Lee does his crucifix solo, and everyone else takes a break. At one point during the concert, Vince came back out, and he actually sounded better than he did when he started at the start of the night. I don't know if it was the songs he was singing or what, but he sounded better. And you're not going to hear any complaints from me, If you don't like the way he sings and you aren't into their sound now, then don't go see them. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm telling you, as a fan, a lifelong, I say lifelong because I've been a fan of Rat, Whitesnake, Dokken, Bon Jovi, Crue, Rat, the list goes on and on. I started falling in love with those bands back in the mid-'80s. I was like 10. So, excuse me. So I'll call that lifelong, considering I'm over 40 now. This show is the best concert I have ever been to. period, bar none. I've seen some great concerts. I've seen Kiss back in the late 90s when it was still all the original members doing the makeup again. Third row in Madison, in front of Gene Simmons. That was great. Okay? I had nosebleed seats for this concert, and this was better. Hands down. Don't care about opinions. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. You have a different opinion? Fine, whatever. I don't care. You're not going to change my mind just because you have another opinion. I'm telling you as a fan. And if you have not seen the Motley Crue final tour, All Bad Things Have Come to an End, you are missing out. Find a date when it comes to your town in the last 50 some odd days left of this tour leading up to the end of the year. Go see them. Mick had a great solo, played some, different kind of solo that I've never heard him play before. Almost sounded like, off the top of my head, in my opinion, it kind of sounded similar to like classic Eddie Van Halen. And I'm sorry, I can't remember this song, but it was like some kind of like finger tapping. It almost sounded like really different. It was a great solo, and it was kind of a sad solo. It was kind of like, it was the last tour, so let's make it sad. But it was great. Really, really incredible. The only thing I really kind of wanted to see was Nikki Sixx. Nikki Sixx do a bass solo, some kind of, he did one when I saw them live back on the Generation Swine tour when Vince came back, and it was very theatrical, it was very visual, because there was a thing in the background movie playing of him visiting his father's gravesite, so it was him like playing out the emotions on bass, and it was mind-blowing. One of the most incredible bass solos. You don't see a lot of bass solos. You hear bass solos, you think of Cliff Burton and maybe a couple others, and that's it. So that's the only thing I was kind of looking forward to that I didn't see in this concert. But Nikki Sixx is always one to preach to the crowd. Some people jokingly call him Father Six. He basically just got to the end of the stage, got down, sat down, and used a giant knife as a visual, saying, fans over the years pick that band to create emotional scars or whatever, or something to that effect. Or he said, you never forget the time that if you ever take a knife or dagger or whatever and cut yourself, you never forget what that feels like. He goes, and the same goes for music. You pick that band, and it says something to the effect of, you never forget how it feels when you hear that band. It gives you goosebumps. It makes you feel a certain way. And then he ended it saying, thank you for making Motley Crue that scar in your life. And yeah, I do feel that way. Motley Crue has always been one of the mainstays of music that I listen to. Sometimes you go off, you listen to other stuff for a while, but you always come back to your loves, your originals. I believe that. I feel that. So that was kind of cool. Tommy Lee. Oh my God. crucifix, this rig, roller coaster rig that he, you know, spins on and plays, and oh man, just, it was cool how he took like classic songs and put them to a modern like dance beat, you know, and played along with it. He had a Sabbath, and he had some other songs. I can't remember which ones. I'd have to go back and look at it. But it was incredible. Very visual, lights, stuff all over. It was great. One of the best drum solos I've ever seen. Tommy always, you know, tries to knock it out of the park, and you know, beat what he did last time. And honestly, I think he's finally. I don't think you could ever top this. Well, okay, maybe he could, but what a great way to go out. You know, love Tommy. It's one of the, in my opinion, one of the best drummers ever. He's inspired so many people. Just, you know, and you hear like you hear all the classics. There was a couple I wanted to hear that I didn't hear, but I'm not criticizing them. I mean, yeah, they've got, you know, 35 years of music to pick from, and you know, you can only play so much. And man, yeah, they played about 2 hours. I didn't really keep track of it, but I think it was. The opening band went on right around 7, and Cooper went on around 8, played for almost an hour, and Crue went on at 9, ended somewhere between 10 and 11. I don't know. It was an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it was. It was, like I said, it was the best concert I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't think I will ever see another concert in my lifetime that will top that, entertainment-wise, between the flames, the lights, the pyro, the explosions. You know, and Crue's always been good for that. Always, you know, trying to make it very entertaining, very visual. 60-foot by 60-foot pentagram behind Tommy Lee doesn't get much visual than that. I mean, for crying out loud, unbelievable. Yeah, just a great time. I'm so happy I went. You know, and I know this video probably won't get as many views as some of my other wrestling videos, but if you are a fan of Motley Crue and you do watch this video, put in the comments below. You know, did you see him? Do you have an opinion about the concert? You know, I'll talk with you. You know, I'm not going to argue with you. You know, so if you're going to just, you know, hate on him or whatever, fine, whatever. You know, but you know, you want to talk about the Crue and your love for music, like I love music, fine. You know, I'm more than willing to rap with you about that. But yeah, phenomenal time. Can't say enough about it. It's going to leave some long-lasting memories, and I could always say that Motley Crue will always be that scar for me. And it's sad, but it was a great time. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys.